My name is Lucas. We've been married with Linda for 4 years and together for 8. Our relationship has had its ups and downs over the decade we've been together, but for the most part, we've been happy. We don't have any children yet, which is a conscious decision on our part as we both feel we're not quite ready to take that step. My wife has been on birth control for the entirety of our marriage as we've mutually agreed it's the best choice for us at this stage of our lives. I thought everything was going well in our marriage. We communicated openly, supported each other, and enjoyed the life we'd built together. But looking back now, I realized there were some subtle changes in her behavior that I should have picked up on as potential warning signs. For instance, I noticed she started spending more time on her phone, often staying up late into the night messaging with someone. This was highly unusual, as we typically went to bed together around the same time each night. One night, I happened to glance over at her phone while she was using it and saw that she was messaging on WhatsApp an old college friend of hers. I didn't think much of it at the time and just went back to sleep. It turns out they had actually been talking for months behind my back. I later discovered that this old college friend had been coming to her workplace to meet up with her in secret, like 2 to 3 hours late. I just can't believe this. I thought we were happy. I'm absolutely devastated and shocked by this revelation. I genuinely thought we were happy and secure in our relationship. For her to be carrying on an affair for months, even meeting up with this other man in person, has shaken me to my core. She says she still loves me, but is also in love with him. I don't know if I can ever trust her again after this betrayal, or if I'll even be able to forgive her. It's an incredibly difficult and painful situation. Just the other day, while I was at work, my wife called me and said she was going to be leaving for a few days. I have no idea where she's going or what she plans to do. I'm left here feeling heartbroken, confused, and unsure of the future of our marriage. She tells me she needs some time and space to clear her head. I then ask her why she feels the need to do this. She says she will explain everything to me when she returns from this trip she has planned. I tell her that's simply not good enough. I need more information and I deserve to know what's going on. I press her, asking where exactly she is going. Finally, she admits she is going to visit one of her old college friends. Immediately, alarm bells start going off in my mind. I put 2 and 2 together and confront her, accusing her of cheating on me with this former classmate. I sternly tell her that if she goes to see this guy, it will be the end of our relationship. She becomes visibly upset, starting to cry. She apologizes profusely, insisting that she loves me, but says she still needs to go through with this trip for her own reasons. I'm incredulous. I ask her point blank if she's really willing to throw away 8 years of our relationship for someone from her past. She hesitates, unsure of how to respond, and then abruptly hangs up the phone on me. I'm fuming with anger and frustration. I can't even think straight, so I decide to leave work early and go home. It's been a few days now, and she still hasn't returned any of my calls or texts. I've reached out to my family and close friends about what's happened, and they've all been very supportive, assuring me that I deserve much better than this. When it comes to my marriage, I've been facing some significant challenges. After much deliberation, I've come to the conclusion that I may have a valid option for divorce. This is not a decision I've made lightly, as I've invested a great deal of time and effort into trying to make our relationship work. However, the irreconcilable differences between my wife and I have made it increasingly difficult to maintain a healthy and fulfilling partnership. In an effort to navigate this complex situation, I've done some research and have managed to find a reputable attorney who specializes in divorce proceedings. I've scheduled a free consultation with this legal professional, and I'm looking forward to gaining a better understanding of my rights and options moving forward. I still don't know where my wife is. I don't have an address or anything. So I reach out to one of her friends and ask if she knows where she is. She then tells me my wife has left the state and is now in another country. I said, "What?" She went to another country. I then asked her where. Her friend says she went to California to be with her college friend. I was so mad. I couldn't think straight. I then said to her friend, "You tell my wife if she doesn't come back home in 2 weeks, I will file for divorce." So, a few days go by and I go talk to the attorney that I set up the free consultation with. I flat out told him that I found out that my wife went to California to be with another man and I want a divorce. He stated, "All right, let's begin with this. We must proceed with filing for an at-fault divorce, citing an unauthorized relationship." I responded, "That is acceptable, whatever actions are necessary." So the attorney says he will start working on the paperwork and should have everything ready to go in a few weeks. I then ask him, "What about my wife? She is in another country." He says, "Don't worry about that. We will serve her the papers through the court system there." So, after my meeting with the attorney, I called my parents and told them I have filed for divorce. They were heartbroken but understood. So 3 weeks go by, I just got home from work, and I get a call from my wife. I answered the phone and said, "Hello," because I didn't recognize the number. There was about a second of silence, then I hear her voice. I simply asked her, what did she want? She then proceeds to tell me that she wants to come home and try to work things out, and then she drops a bombshell on me. She says she is pregnant. I was in complete shock. I then asked her, "How could this be? We haven't been relation in months." She then says that the baby is not mine. It's her old college boyfriend's baby. I then said to her, "So, you are having his baby and you want to come back home to me?" I told her we are divorcing. What you did to me was cold and calculating. You had an affair, got pregnant by another man, and then you had the nerve to run off to another country. I told her I want nothing to do with her and that she needs to stay over there with her child's father. I disconnected the call with her. That conversation left me feeling enraged and shattered simultaneously, yet I had no choice but to do it. I reconnected with the attorney and relayed that my wife wishes to return home, and he confirmed it was acceptable. He assured me he would update the divorce paperwork accordingly and file it as soon as possible. A week later, the attorney contacted me again, stating my wife had been served with the divorce documents. She had 30 days to provide a response. A week passed. I was at home around 8 o'clock in the evening when there was a knock at the door. I approached and opened it to find my wife standing there, appearing disheveled. She was in tears and carried a suitcase. I simply asked, "What are you doing here? You were supposed to be in California." She then pleaded, "Can I come in?" I firmly told her, "No, you need to leave and go back to where you came from." Desperate, she begged, "Please, can we talk?" I decisively responded, "There is nothing to discuss." I was heartbroken to discover that my wife had been unfaithful and was now pregnant with another man's child. I made it clear to her that the trust had been shattered and it was time for her to gather her belongings and leave our home. As she walked in, I noticed her closest confidant waiting in the car outside. She pleaded for my forgiveness, but I explained that the damage done was irreparable. Our marriage was over, and the divorce paperwork had already been initiated. Despite her desperate declarations of love, I refused to engage in any further discussion. I insisted that she collect her possessions and return to her home country of California, which she reluctantly began to do. As she broke down in tears, she attempted to embrace and kiss me, but I firmly pushed her away, unwilling to have any further physical contact. She then requested a moment to use the restroom, during which time I overheard her speaking on the phone, likely to her friend who was waiting outside. Shortly after, she emerged and proceeded upstairs to pack her belongings, preparing to depart our shared life for good. I hear her crying the whole time she is packing. After about an hour, she comes downstairs with 2 suitcases in her purse. She then walks over to me and says, "I am so sorry for how I acted. Can we please talk one more time?" I said to her no. She asked me if there was a chance we could work things out and try to be together again. I told her that it was too late. She has done too much damage. I reiterated that she needed to leave and not come back. I was done with her. She then said that she is so sorry and leaves. I watch her drive away in her best friend's car, and all I could do is shake my head at how much drama one human being can cause. But in the end, it was for the best. I am now free of her, and I can move on with my life. She decided to have an affair with someone from her past, became pregnant, and wanted to return. I have never shared my personal matters with strangers, but I appreciate everyone who gave me advice and encouraged me to stay calm, think clearly, and handle things properly. I'm not sure if I will discuss the divorce again, but as you would have read, it's progressing smoothly and I should be free soon. Dear listeners, please share your valuable opinions on whether I should have given him one last chance or not. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like.